Hey, Valley View, it's Joe Weiss again, coming to you. And a few weeks ago, I shared with you one of my favorite illustrations in life, and I talked about how there are a lot of people who have this vantage point of always looking back over their life and relishing in all the past accomplishments that they've experienced. And then that illustration also then talks about those other people who are at the front end of life, just looking out into the future, looking at all the things that could be created and all the things that places where they could go and all the things that God is saying, hey, I want you to be here. And for both of those vantage points, you can see the faithfulness of God. You can see that God's love doesn't just leave us right here. He takes us where He wants us to be. God's love doesn't leave us who we are. And it can become really easy for a lot of people just to stay exactly who they are. We can easily stay complacent and kind of relish in the past events and not really concern ourselves with where we're headed or what we're going to be up to. And we can just as easily press ahead very quickly into and not really take into consideration where we've been and not really see some of the faithfulness of God, especially here as a church and the faithfulness of God here at Valley View. Back in 2016, I stepped in front of Valley View, those of you here at church, and I just said, hey, we're going to start a campaign called Beyond. And it's based on Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20, where it says, now to Him who is able to do immeasurably more than we could ever ask or think, according to His power, which is at work within us. That God wants to do something that is far beyond you can even think about. And so we watched as God kind of moved in the church. And we went out and we borrowed some money because there were some facility issues that we were having. And we renovated some of those really critical need areas of our church. And we watched God's faithfulness be displayed in His people as you were generous, as other people were generous. And it took about 3 to 4 years to finally pay off that pretty sizable note. But back in November of 2022, just a few months ago, I brought to your attention another opportunity where another phase of the Beyond campaign, we just want to call it Build Beyond. And a campaign where we're asking again, we're coming to the church again and saying, hey, listen, we need $500,000 to be given. And this time, though, we're not going to borrow the money. We're gonna ask that as all funds that come in, we will spend and allocate those funds towards those various projects. And I want you to know this, our credit is great with the banking systems and we could borrow the money, no problem, but we just kind of want to rely on the faithfulness of God as evidenced in your life and then you guys being generous towards this campaign. And we know this, we believe that the presentation of the gospel is worth our very excellence. And so there's some things about our facility that just aren't quite up to that. And we know that. And we believe that the heart of who we are as a church is to make disciples. And that starts with people starting to believe in Jesus, confessing sins, repenting of their sins, being baptized in water for the remissions of sin, and then leaving a life and then starting to follow Jesus. And Valley View has this rich heritage and it's behind us. And we have this great facility. And in this facility, there's some things about even this room in the auditorium that just needs some upgrades. And we have a baptistry that needs to be lowered so that it can be a little more intimate so people can experience following Jesus, beginning that walk with Jesus in that way. We have restrooms and heating and air conditioning systems that are outdated. We have safety and security issues. We have technology that really needs to be upgraded around here so that our message is excellent. And I'll be honest, we started already. You guys started to give, so we started to work. And that you can tell in the auditorium, man, we started to do some things. We removed and replaced some carpeting. We painted some of the walls. We're still working on that. We took a look at the stage and started to design some of the stage. We went and attacked a couple of bathrooms and did some renovation there. And we did a lot of things around the facility so far with the money that has come in. We've updated locker rooms and toilets in a couple of those bathrooms. We have quite a bit to do. We actually even replaced some of the main air conditioning units in our facility, which was a very sizable amount of money. We took a look at lights and locks and security just around the building, out in the parking lot, and we've even done a few things with technology. But as we think about leading other people to Jesus, And this is one of those areas where we sometimes just push it aside and we can say we can overlook it because we're always around Valley View. But man, when somebody comes in that's new, they come in with a fresh set of eyes and they want to see excellence. They want to see, is this a place where I want to be a part of? And so as we focus in on leading other people this year, I just want to invite you to be a partner with us and to give generously to this campaign called Build Beyond. And as you give, I can promise you, you will see the faithfulness of God as you are yourself as a family are generous to that. Listen, all these upgrades that we're doing, we're currently working on, there's a lot that will happen over the next few months, but we're headed towards Easter and we really want to kind of get our facility up and ready for that. So we want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to not just see it as some physical renovation, but this is a spiritual moment for our church and where God is actually moving and you and I get to be a part of it. I love you guys and I hope that you'll help us with this campaign.